Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Have you ever experienced the whistling, howling, driving winds of a hurricane? The roaring drumbeat of thunderstorms, the continuous crackling bursts and flashes of lightning, again and again. The nerve-wracking sounds of heavy rains and rattling rooftops. Hurricanes are categorized at 5 levels of strength, and just one of the natural disasters which takes the lives of thousands of people every year. Q95 is taking the lead as your hurricane radio center. Stay tuned, be informed, and learn from those who can help us survive as they look into the eye of the storm. Q95, your hurricane radio center, and you. Together, we'll ride the storms.
This Father's Day, celebrate Dad and Go. Sign up for postpaid and get 50% discount on selected handsets. Win $100 gas voucher for Dad. 2 lucky customers will drive away with 4 brand new tires, and 1 lucky customer will win a 43-inch TV. All you have to do is sign up for postpaid or switch to Digicel Home Internet. Yes, it's that simple to win. Visit your nearest Digicel store today and make this Father's Day one to remember. Digicel, the best network good for Dad.
We're Dad. Get ready to upgrade your delivery game with eZone. We have got big news. Free delivery from Jimmy to Port Michelle Mondays to Fridays. Yes, you have heard right. Free delivery. Signing up is easy as 1, 2, 3 with easy delivery. Here's how it works. Log on to getezone.com or use our handy eZone app. Click edit details and set your delivery preferences and pay online. Then kick back, relax, and let us handle the rest. It's that simple. Shop, ship, smile, and get it delivered hassle-free with eZone and DFS delivery. Don't be sound. Upgrade your delivery experience today. Visit getezone.com for more details. eZone, your package is delivered with ease and a smile. A fresh market. Well, come and the pocket that hurts you. A fresh market, come and disappointed. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Fresh market, never disappointed. Fresh market.
All you, I just meet goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I try to dock in, but you had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, lot of my power with us, huh? Salka fella, I say the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. The pack I respect him, why? But it can him up here to Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
It's game on, and you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game, and you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, Dominique, here are a few stories we're following this morning. First, we want to report on suspected homicide in the TB area in the north. Here's Brixton Henderson of the police service with that story.
Preliminary investigations indicates that a foreign national who was identified as 45-year-old Joshua Kalis Morgan, who resided at TB, was found in an unresponsive state with what appeared to be gunshot wounds in a motor vehicle in the TB area. Morgan was transported to the Fitzroy Armour Hospital in Portsmouth, where he was examined and pronounced dead by a medical doctor that same evening. The body is being kept at a funeral home pending an autopsy. The investigation is ongoing. The police is soliciting the assistance of the general public who may have any information relative to this matter to contact the Portsmouth Police Station at telephone number 266-4654 or the Criminal Investigations Department at telephone numbers 266-5165, 5157, 5185, or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or any police station. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force expresses its sincere condolences to the family and loved ones of the deceased.
Nature News is also reporting this morning that the court dismissed an application of double murder accused Jonathan Herrera and his co-accused Robert Snyder Jr. allegations of abuse of the process. According to the newspaper online, the High Court in Dominica has dismissed an abuse of process case filed by defense counsel for double murder accused Jonathan Herrera and his co-accused Robert Snyder Jr. The defense team had petitioned the court on allegations that the state had abused the process, and as a result, their client would not get a fair trial. Ravi Akuma of Trinidad and St. Lucian Alberton Richelieu are attorneys for Robert Snyder Jr., and David Brunei is the lawyer for Jonathan Herrera. The judge upheld the submissions of the prosecution on behalf of the state presented by Learned Director of Public Prosecution, DPP Sherman Dirampel, and set a trial date for June 26, 2026. So that case will commence on June 26, 2026. Today, many will remember that's the day that the grammar school auditorium collapsed. Remember that one? Yes, that's the day when we all remembered the big collapse of the grammar school auditorium. And to date, no reason, I repeat, no reason has been given by the government of Dominica for such a serious structural failure of a facility that was intended to accommodate 600 persons, primarily students and teachers. The debris of the collapsed building or roof has been cleared, and the rest of the structure remains like a graveyard for passerby, by only to imagine what happened or what could have happened if that had collapsed when the building was occupied. For the authorities, it appeared to be a big deal, and for the rest of the population, no one died. So what? Construction activities on the rest of the project are continuing as at a snail's pace, even though the Prime Minister said that the Minister of Education promised that all construction activities would be completed for the reopening of school in 2025. No one is yet to be accountable for the collapse of the roof of the auditorium of the Dominica Grammar School. The physical planning division, the contractor, the consultants, and the developer are all allowed to walk away without a simple statement to the population, or at least the students who could have been victims to the worst disaster the Commonwealth of Dominica would have ever experienced, and averted by divine intervention. June 16th, many say, should be a day of remembrance and thanksgiving. We're going to come back, Dominica, after this.
All you, I just me goal winning Roseau again. Same place outside Flossie's. I try to dock in, but you had time see me. Where? Story start again. Million, lot of my father with us, huh? Talk fella. I say the same thing you doing, shopping at Flossie's, and you don't have to tell me the same thing you tell me last time because I busy. It's to hear him way. You reckon? About my pocket, boy. I won't tell you that I save money in food and drinks when I buy quantity. I save more. Oh, shucks, man. Good when you're still telling me. I know already. No pack I expect him, why? But it get him up here to Palais. I will tell all my friends from London, US and Dominica to come to Flossie's. Right next to the Rosa Market. Open Sunday to Saturday. Flossie's can't do it to you.
Stop it. When the money don't come, then the pocket that hurts you. Stop it. Fresh market, it's my day. We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well stocked supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads, and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh your one stop. Fresh market, fresh market, it's my day. Fresh market.
And in a few minutes, I'll play you the clip when I put that question to the Prime Minister at the last news conference, read the Dominica Grammar School. Would you think he did not know or don't know what's going on? In a nutshell, he said, well, maybe the education minister, I think the education minister have a report and she might share it with Dominica, but I've not heard from the education minister. Why would you want to pass the buck, PM, to the education minister to give a report that you promised right after the collapse of the Dominica Grammar School auditorium? So, Madam Education Minister, according to the Prime Minister, you should give the people a report as to what happened, because the baton was passed on to you to make a statement. So let's wait and see if we get a statement from the Education Minister to find out what happened to the Dominica Grammar School. Isn't it strange? PM, I'm sure you know what happened. So why didn't you tell the people of Dominica? You passed the buck. Caller, hello, talk to me. Are you there? Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, and I remember there was a site visit before the DGS roof incident where the PM said they would have to work doubly, or double or double their work to ensure completion by September 2025. Now we're in September, almost there, 26, and there's no site. There's no site in that tunnel there. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes. Good morning to you. Are you there? Yes.
Yes, greetings, brethren.
Yes, I.
Yes, honestly, my brother, I think we're living in 2026. I mean, when they build that building, it was 2025, I think. Yeah. And with the technology they have, and you must have the qualification to be a builder. And you mean to tell me a builder would build a building like that with no beams and structures? So that tells you someone had an agenda, and I think that was supposed, that's just my observation, was supposed to be a bloody sacrifice on our virgin children. But they don't know there's unseen forces that guide and watch our children. So their plan didn't manifest like they wanted to.
That's what you think. That's your opinion. That's it was supposed to be a sacrifice. I mean, that's what you think.
My opinion, bro. Respect my opinion.
I'm respecting your opinion. I'm asking you if that's what you think. Yes.
Yes, I honestly think that was supposed to be a bloody sacrifice on our virgin children, but it didn't happen as planned. Thank you. I'm listening.
All right. Thank you very much. Very interesting there. Let's listen to the Prime Minister when I put that question to him sometime at the last news conference.
There's a report, and there's a report, and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us, and even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it will still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So, so that has been done. That's been done in terms of the report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and
Since there's an official report.
well, we had commissioned a report. We had commissioned a report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done.
So that will be later.
Yeah, we can mix an aspect of it in the Ministry of Education. We can speak to that at some point.
You notice the questions never answered. What went wrong? Who was responsible? Four 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. It's 8:54. Talk to me, yes.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
Hi, Matt. We live in a world in Dominica of no law, no constitution, no investigation, no result of investigation. If there might have been one. That is something else, Matt. Matt, try to imagine this, eh? If that company who is taking that construction thing forward, or who is responsible for the construction, I should say, of the grammar school, was a little better in their practices, that is to say that the thing immediately collapsed after a short time. But let us presume that it was built a little better, and it collapsed on the first day of the opening on the opening ceremony. Try to imagine that. Even Roosevelt's carrot might have been at risk. Even Roosevelt's carrot might have been at risk. And what kind of investigation? He's just saying in different words that to your question you asked, he's just saying that the same company is continuing with that construction. How can that same company continue, Matt, regardless of recommendations? That company should be sued and separated, and we should have a new company coming there that is, that can do the job. Matt, the thing, how long was that thing cast and how long did it last? I mean, try to imagine that. If it was a little better, Sparrow says, if I wasn't such a fool, or if I was smart, I would be a damn fool. Those kinds of words. That is to say that if that company was just a little better, that structure would have stayed up a little longer and waited for opening ceremony. Try to imagine that. How can we just continue with that company? What about the rest of the structure? Doesn't it say something that if that part of the structure collapsed, what about the rest of the structure? There should be a big investigation as to the integrity of that structure.
Well, I thought there was, he said that there was going to be an investigation. Now we're hearing that the same company will continue.
Yes, and that is crazy. That's insane. There should be an investigation not only about the part that collapsed, but the part that is still standing, because it may collapse. May take a little longer. That's the point I'm making. And we're just lucky that it collapsed immediately because of the total inability to build rather than wait for the opening day. That is the point I'm making, Matt, at which Roosevelt Skerrit himself might have been a victim of that collapse. Enough said.
All right, thank you. Now, isn't that grammar school collapse supposed to be resolved by investigations by our planning department, our planning division? A new administration have to put all those square pegs in square holes. Institutions have been restructured to function correctly. Planning should take charge of all business projects on the island, meaning override foreign deals, force them to pass all the jobs through planning. 449, this is just a suggestion there by text message. Are you there, caller? Yes?
Yes, my brother. Good morning. How are you doing?
Blessings to you.
Well, to you and your listening audience, good morning to all. Matt, I did not hear your whole piece you play on the press conference. I came in on the tail end. But when you playing this guy here and then press conference, I don't need to hear the whole thing. I could almost summarize what it is. Long as I know the main topic of the subject, I could tell you the end result. It's a pattern, Matt. To hell with you, everybody. None of your damn business. And these are the kind of answers you get. So when you close that thing, you said, you notice you didn't get an answer. Matt, you will never get an answer. You will never get a correct answer. If you do get one, you'll get a piece of an answer or a giggle and a smile and go around the corner, Matt. The responsibility of this man to the people is non-existent. And the people take it. And I will keep saying it again and again. Dominica will never move forward with a gentleman like that in the space of leadership because the people have never, not even his followers, because they are too coward and too really not too astute or educated to ask for results and straightforward answers, Matt. And you cannot have a country that will move forward and grow with that kind of leadership because, like a gentleman always call you from foreign and tell you it's a dictatorship. The man is telling you none of your damn business where you spend a ton of millions of dollars to build a school that the children, the future generation would have been sitting in had that thing was would have been finished. A lot of people would have perished in that thing, and yet to this point, you have gotten no results. What took place? Who is responsible? Who is going to pay the country back for the money spent? Nothing. How can that be? These are the questions that we can ask. But I know how it can be. But the people who gave him their vote, who put the X on the line, their name on the line, to put a government like that in power cannot hold him responsible. Who else is thinking? But the Chinese own him. Matt Amount, my brother. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's listen to the Prime Minister again. His comments at the news conference in recent times, PM.
There's a report, and I think there's a report in the and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us. And even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it will still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So so that has been done. That's been done in terms of report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and
So there's an official report.
well, we had commission report. We had commission report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done.
So that will be later.
Yeah, we can mix an aspect of it in the Ministry of Education. We can speak to that at some point.
Right. Mrs. Bunny, please share with the rest of Dominica. Because the PM has just passed the buck. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Good morning. This is Bernard Morrow.
Yes, sir.
The guy was making a statement and he's saying that he believe, and you're trying to question his beliefs.
No, I was just questioning. I was asking him what he's asking a question and making a statement.
The same damn thing. I think the same thing. Satan wanted so a few virgin souls, and that was put together.
Yeah. Well, again, it's your belief. I can't go against your opinion. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. That's what you think. Hello, talk to me. Yes, are you there? Yes. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm so disappointed in that government. We're talking about the auditorium that fall. But while we're speaking, nobody's working on that school. From September, where are the children going to go back to school in the same old mess?
So you're saying there's no work taking place there?
There's no work being done for a while now. Nobody's working there. You know how long they promised that school would have been finished for our children to go to school?
Since last September, yes.
Of course, and even before, it should have been done. So I'm waiting to see what's coming, and then we're talking about a general election coming again. Dominicans would be too wicked to put that government back there.
All right, caller, thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. Are you there? Yes.
Good afternoon. Good morning to you, Matt.
Wake up.
Good morning to your listeners. Matt, you seem to have missed something very important there. Replay the clip of the Prime Minister. Listen carefully. He says, when you ask him the question, so that report will be made available, will it? And he quickly responded, I'm sure certain parts
That's true. Yes.
of it can be made available. The Ministry of Education will facilitate that. Certain parts. Where's accountability? Remember that word, accountability?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that you have a piece of construction like that taking place and this company, whatever company that is, has delivered substandard work that collapses and could have put or would have put people in danger? You promise a report and you cannot in any way prove that that report did in fact come before you. You cannot prove in any way that that report was in fact done. And when asked a question about the report being made public, you say certain parts will be. You remember what happened with the Dearborn situation? How they dragged it on and dragged it on and dragged it on, when the law says that these reports, such reports, by law, should be accessible to the public at all times. So why is it that when I ask a question, you're saying that
Interesting observation, Colin. You're right. You're right about that. He said certain parts. So where are the other parts? Let's listen again attentively to the Prime Minister.
There's a report. There's a report, and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us. And even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it will still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So so that has been done. That's been done in terms of report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and
So there's an official report.
well, we had commissioned a report. We had commissioned a report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done.
So that will be made available.
Yeah, we can mix an aspect of it in the Ministry of Education. We can speak to that at some point.
All right, so you heard. Let's go back to the telephone. Yes, good morning to you. Yeah?
Matt, let us make a comparison, Matt. The opposition has a demonstration, and you take them to court, and you've been in court with them for more than 8 or 10 years, some length of time like that, because they use a truck and some speakers. It was a peaceful demonstration. There was no fight at the demonstration. Later on, there was some looting in town. So you've taken the opposition members to court, and all that time has elapsed. And you refuse to tell us, the people, how much money you spent on that case, right? There are some estimates in the millions. Your security minister was asked the question in Parliament, and he refused to answer the question, citing that it may cause some form of security risk by telling the people of Dominica how much money they spent. Now, you have a school under construction that has collapsed, that has risked the lives of many young lives. You know, if that thing didn't collapse, it is risking the life of many young people. Yet you, the government, do not take the construction company to court and hold them liable. Why is the government not holding that company liable? How can they just continue with them? Are they their buddies? Are they part of the government? What is it? The government should take them to court. Must take them to court and hold them liable, citing the risk of these young children because of that collapse and the integrity of the construction that is still standing. I make the point again. It should be properly investigated to make sure that it will stand up. Why haven't they been held liable? When you hold and spend millions of dollars on the opposition in court because they had a truck and a sound system, you claim that they were trying to overthrow the government. You see that comparison, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right. You remember that statement by Dennis Charles Pemberton on that collapse?
Dominica views the collapse. The government of Dominica views the collapse of the concrete roof at the Dominica Grammar School construction site on Monday, June 16, as a matter of grave concern, and is addressing it with the highest level of urgency and seriousness.
Really?
We are thankful that the incident caused no injuries. On Tuesday, June 17, the Cabinet decided on the following measures to ensure thorough and transparent response with the safety of students and staff as our top priority. An independent investigation will be conducted to determine the cause of the structural failure. An engineering firm will be engaged to carry out a comprehensive assessment and submit a detailed report to the government. All other structures currently under construction at the site will be thoroughly inspected to assess their structural integrity and ensure compliance with safety standards. Construction activities have been ordered suspended with immediate effect while the investigation is ongoing. A joint team from the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Public Works has been tasked with overseeing the process and ensuring that all necessary corrective actions are implemented. The well-being of the students, teachers, and staff of the Dominica Grammar School is the government's paramount concern, and we will make no compromise in ensuring their safety and protection. The government of Dominica will provide further updates as the investigation progresses and additional information becomes available.
All right, so she may have been acting at the time, you know, if memory serves me right. Acting Prime Minister. So where are these updates? Where are these updates? What's the conclusion of the investigation? Dominica is a special place. And you noticed, and somebody has noticed, I asked the question, who's responsible, not who's taking over the construction. The man is yet to answer and blame, and who's to blame? Who's going to be reprimanded? To be made to pay it. Something is not right, and somebody is protecting. Is he protecting somebody? But our children could die, and he doesn't care. That's what one WhatsApp is suggesting here. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominica. Good morning, Michael. Good morning, St. Joseph. Wow. Go and register. Dominica, go and register. Mato, you know, up to last night and to this morning, God say, I was thinking of that very same project, sorry. But what caused me to think of it? In the press conference, Roosevelt Skerrit called one of our lawyers, and we know Joshua because Joshua did advise those people to call before signing the document, you know, get legal advice. Roosevelt Skerrit called him man stupid. What kind of lawyer? What kind of stupid lawyer? So I said to myself, when that building collapsed, Roosevelt Skerrit never showed that kind of level of anger towards those people from overseas. But here in Dominica, he could call Dominicans stupid at any time he wished. A prominent lady was called Drumstick by one of his surrogates that drew the election reform. And he supported the man against the lady. Roosevelt Skerrit is very insulting to Dominicans. So when I hear you talking about that building this morning, I say it's coincidence. He called him stupid. It is easier to go at
Something is wrong with your telephone. You have to fix that one. It's 913. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, this is my final call for the day.
You're on very regularly here. Yes, go ahead.
Well, Matt, I cannot help it because, Matt, when the rain falls, it falls on everyone's house. I want the supporters of the Dominica Labour Party who are behaving like MAGA supporters to understand that the children who go to the grammar school are not UWP children. They're Labourite children. They're UPP children. If that thing had collapsed, it would collapse on all different supporters of different parties. This is not a party thing. This is not a party thing. The children that go to the grammar school, their parents are from all different political considerations. So they need to understand that is not when Roosevelt Skerrit acts in that way, lenient against a company that caused the collapse of a school under construction. It didn't even last till opening day. They must understand it. We're not just talking about politics here. We're talking about your children, Labourite children, UWP children, UPP children.
And they need to understand that the rain is falling on everybody's head right now. They need to understand that. And Roosevelt Skerrit is not behaving like a prime minister who's really concerned. He seems more concerned to protect the company that was doing that construction. Because I already made the comparison. Look how he behaved when the opposition had a little truck and amplifier doing a little bit of demonstration. Look how much money he spent. Roosevelt Skerrit, how much money have you spent taking this company to court? How much? Have you even considered to take them to court and hold them responsible? Matt, in a real country, the outcome of that investigation, some heads within that construction company would go to jail. Is that an exaggeration, Matt?
Nope.
Thank you very much. I rest my case.
449-3095-9697. Let's go back to the overseas line. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. How are you this morning?
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, Matt, I listened to the discuss there this morning, Matt, to do with that grammar school thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I hear people talking about the government should take the contractor to court and all of that. But Matt, I'm sitting there and I'm saying, boy, I don't think some people understand how these things work. I mean, you will get into resolve a matter if there's a disagreement for who should take responsibility for whatever event that happened on the job site, on the construction site. You understand what I'm saying, Matt?
I'm following you.
You
Yes.
got a dispute. You got a dispute. You go into the court for resolution. But if the contractor takes liability and then upon investigation they notice where they went wrong, whether it's from the architectural drawing itself, whether it was from the interpretation of the actual architectural drawing, or whether it was just an oversight on the application of the architectural drawing in terms of the foreman on the site itself must have missed some critical things. And
But don't you think it's the responsibility of the government to make that clear to the people of Dominica?
yes, they can say something on that by now, you know. But Matt, the thing is, there's another angle to that. I think the more critical question always has to do with who's paying for it. So here's what, in negotiations, it's like, you just think of if you build in your house, the procedure is not much difference. You as the homeowner and the contractor messes up something significantly that affects your turnover time to hand over the building to you for use, right? So the more technical aspect would be to identify the problem. They address it because, like you said, it's under warranty. You know, the contractors in all cases, you don't fire an entire contractor for that. I don't see that happen in the States. Contractors have to come and fix their issue. You might just have additional oversight over the plans.
Or would you not have problems with trusting the contractor with that big collapse? Would you not?
No.
If somebody's building your house, my brother, I think Chad, if somebody's building your house and say in early stages your concrete structure collapse, wouldn't you be thinking again as to should I continue with this contractor? Just a question there.
Yeah, well, again, Matt, if you know building procedures, it's a very hard thing to just hold the contractor alone liable for that, because you have the planning division that has to go through all the actual architectural drawings. You understand? And in most cases like that, what you might do, you might add an additional oversight to look over it an additional time, one extra set of professionals.
So you've not answered my questions. You would allow the same contractor to continue with your project?
Yes. And let me explain how we do, but that's what I'm trying to explain how it goes. It's not the contractor totally that has to assume liability, because there are other people, there are other factors in place that overlook the entire project even before it starts, such as the planning division, even
So you're putting blame on the planning division when the planning division themselves have said they were never involved?
None of us can stay on the radio and blame anybody.
But I'm telling you that I know, Chad, the planning division was never involved.
Well, so that's a problem, and that's a problem we have in Dominica. So we can address that part of the problem to do with our national intervention into all projects here. We can substantiate our purpose to make a claim and use that as a
So let me ask a question before you go. So who do you blame for just the collapse? Just a question again, general question. Who would you blame for that collapse after the investigation?
As a contractor myself.
Yes.
It is very ignorant of me to point finger to anybody without I know the findings of the investigation. Period.
All right, thank you very much. On the telephone, hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, are you there? Yes.
Matt, sorry, Matt, I
You're back.
apologize.
You're back. Yes. Hello. Yes.
Yes, some people will try to defend what is not worth defending or impossible to defend. You heard the man, right? You heard his last comment. He's a defender of Skerrit. End of message. Because even if it's planning's fault, it is still under Roosevelt Skerrit. And it would still end up with a criminal investigation if 50 children had got covered under there. If it didn't collapse immediately, if it waited till the day that it was opened and it fell on 50 children or more, it would be a criminal investigation. It should still be a criminal investigation because of the possibility that that could have happened. They're just lucky that nobody got hurt. But don't give me this crap about, oh, you cannot point the finger at the contractor. Whoever the finger has to point at, it should point. Enough said.
All right. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Very technical. Maybe I'll see if I can get somebody who's involved in contractual, oversight or work to maybe give me an opinion on that one. Hello, talk to me. Yes, I am. Hello, yes.
Matt, can you imagine two of us watching Red and you tell me, that is dead, that is not Red? Come on. I mean, Red is red for you, Red is red for me, Matt. Shouldn't that be so, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why you want to work your way around it and call it a different color. But Matt, we have strange people. All over the world, we have a lot of strange people. And your logic, which would be about 100,000 people logic, because it's that obvious. But you're going to find somebody that come with a different logic. And then you begin to question your own sanity, the 100,000. We are right or he's wrong? He's wrong or we are right? But Matt, Dominicans, particularly the intellectuals of this country, making Skerrit look good. Because, Matt Skerrit really think he's the best thing Dominica have ever produced, You listen to the stutter, not the stuttering, he's groping in broad daylight for words, Matt. It's not in the dark he's groping, and in the mental lunacy of that creature, he is groping in broad daylight for words to sound convincing. Matt, wasn't he an English teacher?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about his articulation, but to be fluent. You have to play his throat. You have to play games. You have to say a part of the report could be made public matter. Part of it. Did you hear when he said a part of it could be made public, Matt?
Yes, he did. He did say that. Will be made public.
Matt, and you're asking the question, Matt, it might have to cost me more if I have the money. But Matt, your company, by firing all you. And what Dion said, Matt, all during the time when that happened, that was my argument. Was it meant to be a human sacrifice, a mass human sacrifice, and having to do with Matt, another foreigner that died on the north again, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
So now we need foreign blood. Maybe the devil is not appeased by just local blood. We need foreign blood. Let that pass. Matt, I'm just saying it is criminal. It is irresponsible. It is disrespectful. It is rude and ruthless and brutal, Matt. For something like that to happen, Matt. It's not an earthquake. It's not a tremor, Matt. You telling me you're using the same company to continue, Matt, what kind of arrangement Skerrit have with the company? What kind of arrangement? Were they trying to make shortcuts, Matt? To cut on costs? To cut costs? and not at the expense of our. That's why I say Dominican intellectuals and influential people have scared looking good. How can such a criminal, I would say, thing take place, Matt? I would say criminal. And you telling me you come in making excuses, throwing the Ministry of Education under the bus, bring some engineers, maybe bring some other people, even some foreign people, have a report comprehensively so, and make it public at a press conference. Matt, you that had to bring it up after all those years when things were supposed to do this, and you think, well, everybody's suffering from the memory pool, the foul memory syndrome. So guess what? Matt brought it up. Well, and you know, he plays games. Matt Dominica is not a child. You play games with children. But not plenty of us will behave like children, because when serious people stand up and ask serious questions, all of a sudden they have a problem. And you know, sticking your neck out on the behalf of some foolish and ignorant people and illiterate people like myself. And then guess what? Somebody just has to say, oh, blessing stuck in foolishness. And the echo chamber continue. Oh, blessing stuck in foolishness. By Matt win a lot of in Dominica. Matt, you know what they call in Franklin Moses?
He's right there.
Franklin, blessings to you. Matt, thanks for your time.
Blessings. We're going to come back.
It's game on. And you may not be able to predict the scoreline or who will win each game. And you sure can't predict who will be the champion. But what is predictable is that Quartz has what you need to watch the games the way you want to every time. It's game on. Quartz, bringing value home.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Bloombox. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Bloombox Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Bloombox in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Drury Lane, or Bloombox Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
All right, Dominica, we're here 449-3095. Of course, today would be is the anniversary of the collapse of the auditorium there at the Dominica Grammar School. 1 year since its collapse. So we're spending some time on this very subject this morning. We have a lot of other issues to expound on, including the by-election issue that's now surfacing. I believe that for later, the talk on the block, huh? Hello, talk to me. Candidates already been announced. Are you there? Are you? Yes? Talk to me. Morning to you. Morning, yes.
Yeah. I listen in the program there, and sometimes I love to listen because that is how I sensitize myself on issues like that. And then the gentleman, the builder himself, was saying that it's like he cannot find anybody to be blamed. And then when you pointed out to him about planning, so he said that there's a possibility that planning would be the one to blame because as a builder, he cannot see himself blaming anybody. Had that go further, and then children life were taken. I wonder what would be the case right now. That's $1 million question, because it seems to me, had life been taken with that matter, millions of questions would be asked without answer. And there would still be defense, as we hear in. frightening thing with a matter like that. And Dominican don't seems to be taking that. Yes, Matter, God bless you, because something like that, Dominican still seems to not taking that seriously. That's a country thing. And that is frightening in the way we go about things like that, and even want to put politics in things like that, man. It's sad. It's unfortunate, and I'm not going to continue on that because I cannot imagine. But have a good one.
I would have a good one. Matt, I'm just giving my 2 cents. All builders are supposed to have the concrete tested to see if it passes the test or the PSI test for whatever it'll be used for. Now, I must ask the question, did the collapse was due to faulty cement from a particular cement plant owner or by a politician? 449, just a question there. Hello, talk to me. Yes, was that concrete tested? Are you there? Or was it? Morning to you, yes.
Bernard again, and I hope you don't cut me prematurely. Let me tell you, as a builder, all right, I've had certain contracts, and I would advise certain things I would see that can be detrimental. Okay, I would consult the people that are in charge, the architect, and I would say, listen, that can be a threat, and we need to add an extra column in the middle. We need to reinforce the beam. That is what I would have done as a good contractor. Because you know I'm a contractor, right?
So in other words, you would ask questions if you see something faulty. That's your point.
Yeah, because let me tell you something, and it's also your prerogative to rehire that contractor or to fire his ass. Because if he does that, yeah. Yes, Matt. That's my point.
Okay, caller, thank you. I heard you again listening to the radio in the background. So you're hearing me 1 minute after. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Raphael, good morning to you. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Packet, the man of the attitude.
That's the name for sure. The gentleman who called you and did not give you a direct answer, is he a contractor? Is he a builder?
He said he's a builder, contractor / contractor. He said that. Not
So you were not able to identify, Matthias, that the guy is trying to protect his integrity, trying to protect his profession in the future that may happen to him. Did you observe that? Because that may happen to him in the future. And if it would happen to him, God forbid, then he would have had to find a loop way out. That's one. If you're a contractor, I'm a truck driver, and I ask questions on buildings when I carry material to people. My father was a contractor. I worked with him in my own days. If you, let's say something, you have a plan, and you're constructing a structure, and you, the contractor, the builder, realize or sees that this area, for example, like Bernard said, needs a column or a beam or a ring beam, you can tell him in charge they need a ring beam, or let us not put 3/8 steel, let us put 1/2" steel instead of 5/8 steel, because we need a center support, and so on and so on. That's a very, very easy thing, whether you have, you have a plan or not. Let's put it that way. And let's put it that way. If you had a plan, it would have been more effective. If you don't have a plan, then the contractor can come and say, look, we need to make a shortcut there. We need a column, a standing column there, or some beams and column for support. That's simple. So what I observe, I may be wrong, what I observe the brother is trying to do is to try to protect himself in the event a situation like that happens to him in the future. Have a good day today, my brother.
Have a good day. Have a good day. Thank you. It was a structural failure. That's clear, somebody's suggesting. The structural engineer and the architect are the ones who have to answer, because they were supposed to inspect the job. They will see the contractor's work, especially as planning was absent from the process. Bernard is right, because sometimes contractors see potential issues on site, and it's part of their responsibility to bring it to the attention of the owner, architect, or engineer. Dominica should know who's responsible for what happened 1 year ago at the auditorium. Why are we trying to keep it away? Hello, talk to me. Are you there, caller? Talk to me.
Hey, Matt, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yes, Matt, let me tell you that. Matt, as a contractor,
Yes, sir.
Matt, no contractor is not going to pour any decking below 3,500 PSI concrete, which means that concrete had 3,500 PSI or even more. But Matt, most of the time, when a decking collapses, it collapsing when you point it is because you don't have enough brace underneath it, or if one brace, then it affects all the others because of the weight, and then that decking will collapse during while you point it. But remember, the decking that fall off, it fall off after how many weeks, Matt? First of all, a decking can take 21 days to cure. 21 days the concrete going to take to cure. Now remember, that decking fall long after 21 days. So which means, Matt, that was not braced properly. The columns was not in properly in place. The rim beam, it maybe didn't have enough rim beam. The expand was too wide for the amount of steel they give it. The steel maybe have tied, instead of 6 inches, they maybe tie the steel 8 inches because they want to run save material. Maybe they even tie the steel 10 inches apart. So it has so many faults that I can tell you that caused this building to fall. But planning had to come in and investigate when that building falls. They have to come and investigate the reason why this building fall. Whether it is the contractor fault for cutting a shortcut, or whether it was the engineer fault for the way the person draw the plan. But as a contractor, experienced contractor, when you're going to pour a decking and the architect make a mistake, you're supposed to have the experience to point out the mistake instead of going and do the thing and then the accident happens. That is bad contracting, that is bad engineering, and also our planning division have to take some fault for that. Because for a kind of building like that, they should go and investigate that.
But caller, to the point I made earlier, I don't think they were involved at that time. They were not involved. They were not contracted to be involved. So that's
then the government will take the fault, man. The government have to take the fault. You cannot have such a building at school. You're talking about school children. Parents going to be there. And you're telling me our planning division is not involved? But we're supposed to tell the government. We're supposed to ask the government to resign on the kind of things here. Because this is a serious matter. Because children could be underneath that building when it falls. Parents could be there because, first of all, that building was a place where they were going to meet. Everybody going to meet together. You understand? And you're telling me, that building fall, and you're telling our planning division don't get the order to go there and inspect it. But my child, mad. It's only in Dominica that can happen. Remember, I tell you that. Man, have a good morning.
Have a good morning, the contractor himself. Hello, 449-3095, 96 and 97. Let's listen to a few voice notes now. Yes.
Hey, Mark, good morning. Concerning that collapse that happened, this is easy to solve. I mean, would actually be responsible, it's going to be either the structural engineer or the contractor. And that can be found out very easy. Just do an investigation on site. It would have to be very going into by detail. You could find out if the structural plans was followed by the contractor. If the contractor did not follow the structural plans properly, then it's the contractor's fault. There is no if or buts about that, because I know there are some contractors who like to make corners, just to save some money to put in your pocket. And then if it's the structural engineer's fault, then this is also easy to find out. They just have to do on-site research, see if the amount of rebars was done according to the plan. If everything was done according to the plan, then it's the engineer's fault. Some calculation was missed. This is pretty much easy, but I think it should be known to the public, and I think the Prime Minister saying part of it will be shown. That's just been deceptive. It's obvious to see that he's hiding or trying to protect somebody. But definitely, either the structural engineer or the contractor is responsible. And yeah, it's serious. I mean, if children was inside there, the collapse, a lot of people could have died. So they have to take it serious. Yeah, that's my
Your contribution. Thank you. We're going to come back after this.
This Father's Day, celebrate Dad and Go. Sign up for postpaid and get 50% discount on selected handsets. Win $100 gas voucher for Dad. 2 lucky customers will drive away with 4 brand new tires, and 1 lucky customer will win a 43-inch TV. All you have to do is sign up for postpaid or switch to Digicel Home Internet. Yes, it's that simple to win. Visit your nearest Digicel store today and make this Father's Day one to remember. Digicel, the best network code for Dad.
With Dad. Get ready to upgrade your delivery game with eZone. We have got big news. Free delivery from Jimmy to Port Michelle Mondays to Fridays. Yes, you have heard right. Free delivery. Signing up is easy as 1, 2, 3 with Easy Delivery. Here's how it works. Log on to getezone.com or use our handy eZone app. Click any details and set your delivery preferences and pay online. Then kick back, relax, and let us handle the rest. It's that simple. Shop, ship, smile, and get it delivered hassle-free with eZone and DFS delivery. Don't be sound. Upgrade your delivery experience today. Visit getezone.com for more details. eZone, your package is delivered with ease and a smile.
Preliminary investigations indicates that a foreign national who was
A fresh market, where money don't count and your pocket don't hurt you. A fresh market, come on, it's a fine day.
We are open 7 days a week with the top of the line products. Well, stock, supermarket and pharmacy, health and beauty care, fresh produce and meats prepared daily, hot and cold kitchen, ready to go meals, sandwiches, salads and desserts at your fingertips. Easy access, located on the bayfront, environment friendly, and our staff are approachable and ready to assist. Have you figured out who we are? You got it. Fresh market, your one stop.
Where money don't count and your pocket don't hurt you. Fresh market, come on, it's a fine day. Fresh market.
Fuel your farm with premium animal feeds at Boombox. We're excited to announce a major expansion to our lineup. Boombox Farm and Garden Center is now your go-to supplier for high-quality animal feeds. From poultry to livestock, we provide the specialized nutrition your animal needs to thrive. Our feed portfolio includes poultry solutions, swine care, small pet and livestock. Visit Boombox in Roseau on the corner of Hanover Street and Deary Lane, or Boombox Goodwill, 66 Federation Drive, Goodwill. Let's bloom together.
All right.
There's a report, and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us, And even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it would still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So so that has been done. That's been done in terms of report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and
So there's an official report.
well, we had commissioned a report. We had commissioned a report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done. Yeah, we can mix certain aspect of it in the Ministry of Education. We can speak to that at some point.
All right. We have a caller on the line at this time. I think Mr. Jules, are you there? Good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Matt. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Dominica.
Good morning to you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How's everything going in Dominica, Matt?
Well, taking it one day at a time. One day at a time. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes. Matt, in reference to a building that's collapsed under construction, Matt,
Mm-hmm.
it's big. If the building was designed by an engineer and it collapsed, it's very simple to go back and see what happened, because the questions you have to ask, was the plans approved by the building department? And if the answer is yes, did the contractor follow what's on the drawing? And if the answer is yes, then the engineer is at fault. But if the engineer comes in and say that the building was not constructed the way it was designed to be constructed, then the contractor is at fault. Okay? Because you can know, based on the construction of the building, the engineer can come in and say whether or not the contractor followed the protocol, if he followed the way it was supposed to be constructed. Because if he didn't, then he's at fault and he should be fired. And I hope he have liability insurance to cover the extent of the damage. You cannot, as a contractor, do whatever you want to do, especially when you're building a commercial building, a building that's going to house students or people in extension. You have to follow every detail on the drawing. The amount of steel has to be right. The mix of the concrete has to be checked, because there's different mix of concrete. There's like 3,500 PSI, 4,000 PSI, whatever they call for has to be followed. They should have someone on site testing the concrete to make sure that the mix is correct. All those things have to come into play. The design is very important. So if the buildings collapse before even the end of the construction, that means the contractor or the design, meaning the engineer, is at fault. So somebody has to take the blame. And that's where you have liability insurance.
But hold on, Jules, because I'm being told from my sources that planning was never involved from the start. So that's a big problem right there.
Okay. Well, if the planning was not involved, that project should not even have been started. And what is going on in Dominica? Why would a school that's going to be housing children not go to the planning department? Just think about how careless that is. Okay? If you're going to build a school, that is where you're going to house children. Just imagine that open it and the kids were in there. Kids could have lost their lives. And then the government, and who's going to pay? You can replace people's life. I don't care how much money you give them. So they should stop the project and go back to planning and make sure that this building has designed in a proper way. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, for over 35 years. And every building like that must go through planning, must be approved. So it has the government, the building department, I don't know who's at. They should be at fault. That building should never be constructed without being approved.
Well, you know what they say. What they say about who's in charge. So we in Dominica can make it slide. Things like that. We make it slide.
Well, this is a very serious issue, and that's why Dominicans on the whole have to pay attention to their lives. There's a lot of things going on in Dominica which should have never happened. A building should never be constructed. A school, entertainment center, any place that's going to house people, it's not a personal dwelling place, they should make sure it goes through the proper protocol, go to building department and be approved. And if it's not designed properly, they should kick it back to the engineer and make them know that it's not approved and they have to redesign it. Okay? So even the contractor did it according to the plan, the engineer who drew it might be at fault. We don't know who's at fault until they go through everything and see who is at fault.
That's why we need the full report. We need the full report. But the Prime Minister just said parts of the report will be revealed. Parts of the report. What is there to hide? What is there to hide? Okay, Mr.
What is there to hide? That's the problem. The question is, what is there to hide? And what is the rush of doing things in Dominica the way they do things in Dominica? Look at what's going on with the airport in Wesley. That's outside of that, but I'm just going to mention that for a second. They designed an airport in Wesley, which did not go through the proper protocol. And then I'm very concerned about that too, because you have an airport, which is a very, very, very important project. The biggest project you'll see in Dominica. And it's very important. And now you have its design, and as they go through, they decided, oh, let's build a tunnel, or let's do this, or let's get rid of the water this way. It was not properly designed, and it's going to create problems down the road. I've been on the site many times, and I look the way the waterways, they did not design it to take, if there's a flood in Dominica, a heavy rain like what we had the other day, that airport might not withstand the floods that's going to come. And that's the problem we have in Dominica. You cannot do stuff like that. You have to sit and think about what you're doing. You have to go through. It might take years of planning before you decide to start construction. You can just start an airport and then decide, oh man, if it rains, we have a flood, it flood the airport. Because just imagine a 737 land at the airport with 250 people, and there's you call it a pothole, or you call it a sinkhole, I want to say the right word, on the airstrip, and then the plane collapsed and everybody died. Because poor planning. Because water, you have to make ways for the water to escape from the airport. And this airport should be suspended and not built there. It's a poor design. And even if I'm not there to see it, but somebody will say, I remember this guy saying that. I'm telling you right now, it's a very poor design. The way they did the airport is very poor. Because when they build the airport, they probably have about 7 to 10 streams that turn into rivers at any day when it floods. And if the water is not cleared from the airstrip, it's gonna create sinkhole. Like the other day, if you listen to the news, in LaGuardia Airport, there was a sinkhole that just shut the airport down. That's serious, because you can have water undermining the airstrip. And because the planes are very heavy, they weigh tons and tons. And when it lands, with the impact on the airstrip, if the ground is not solid, it's going to go right through. So they do things in Dominica backwards. I'm tired every time I come to Dominica and see stuff is going on the roads, the way they build everything, and everybody just walk and look at it as though it's nothing. But we have to think about our lives. Look at our roads. People are dying every day on the roads because nobody cares. Nobody cares about the damages on the road. And it's the same thing that's happening. They bypass the building department and building a school without having it approved. The same thing happening to the airport. And these things are going to continue to happen because of poor government and poor planning.
All right, Mr. Jules, thank you very much. Thank you. Construction inspector there, Mr. Jules Edwards, based in New Jersey. Good morning, Dominica. We're here. Taking your phone call. Thank you again. Very instructive there, Mr. Jules. Thank you again for your contribution. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Are you there? Yes?
My apologies.
Oh my God, you're back again.
I can't seem to shut up with what I'm hearing. I want to thank Mr. Jules, but Matt, every time you make that point about planning was not involved, how can planning not be involved, Matt? And we heard these irresponsible statements from some key supporters of the DLP, people in key positions, making this thing about, planning division is government, government is planning division. They don't understand that planning division must act as an independent body. Planning must be independent of the government. It cannot be part of the government in the sense that just toe the line of the government, because it acts independently so that it can have safe structures. Safety is what planning department is for. And when it comes to safety, you cannot be political. You cannot be biased. You have to deal with the facts. And how can planning, before you pour anything, before you write a plan, planning must know to approve it. Before you erect anything, before you pour any concrete, before you do anything, planning has to be involved. How can a government bypass planning? And we've seen it with the airport. We've seen it with the structures. Look at the kind of advice and allowing the Chinese to mine in Debauche. Matt, if you see some of the stuff they call mitigation, it's like a joke, Matt. Matt, I'll take a picture of a little thing for you that they did. Say even when there's dry weather, the water cannot pass through that thing like a sieve. It cannot pass. It makes like a pond. And that's what the Chinese call mitigation. And the planning approved that. Matt, it's a total joke. We got to get out of this mental state, because people will get killed. It's a joke.
All right, caller, thank you very much. On the telephone, it's 4 minutes to the 10 o'clock hour in the morning, and the telephone calls continue to come. Are you there, caller? Yes. Yes, caller? 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 Are you there? Oh boy, let's get back to my phone call.
Yeah, good morning, Matt. Matt, you know that sometimes when I listen to what is happening in our country, I have to contribute a little from what I know. Matt, in terms of contracting companies that was doing construction work in Dominica locally, I want to go back to a company called St. Max Construction. Matt, St. Max Construction builds schools and a number of massive concrete structures in Dominica in the past, still in existence. Matt, we had Clarence Johnson Construction, another local company with Donny Boyd and his men, and they did massive work. You can go back and see the tracks that what they left, what they done will remain for years and years to come. Matt, we had Luke Construction. The Pottersville Church is one of the main things. Doesn't talk about banks and what, just talk about massive concrete constructions. Matt, we had Stucco Construction. Stucco Construction, we can go back to the Marigot St. Andrews campus and see the kind of span that these people place on concrete. But apart from these orders, we have this man, E.H. Charles Construction. And these people did local constructions in Dominica. I do understand that this time in Dominica, when we should be better, we have people that learn from. We've been bringing foreigners to do what is happening in Dominica. And nobody goes to jail, nobody refunds cash, nobody is paid a penalty for the damages that they're doing to Dominica and Dominicans. We got to get something done about it. And Matt, we can go back and more people will confirm what I just said. Later, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye to you, Dominica. We're going to come back right after this, huh? Of course, Flo is standing by.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Are you tired of having the same boring breakfast every morning? Well, Monflake Oats is the healthy and perfect solution just for you. Make your breakfast exciting by adding Monflakes to your pancakes, parfait, or even milkshake. Monflake can be found in different sizes and available in granola such as Caribbean or Hawaiian. Stop worrying about what to prepare for your breakfast, dessert, snack, or even dinner. Monflake is the best addition to your meal. Grab yourself a bag today.
Locally distributed by Fine Foods Inc. and available island-wide.
Great things happen when we crunch together. So crunch and share the love with KFC's bucket together. $45 gets you 6 pieces of chicken, 2 fries, 1 corn, 1 biscuit. With KFC, there's always chances to win big. 3 winners, 3 destinations for an all-expense-paid trip with Sunrise Airways, St. Martin Carnival, St. Kitts Music Festival, and Lucian Carnival. $1,500 spending cash, hotel accommodation, event tickets, and ground transportation. All you have to do is purchase a bucket together. Write your name and phone number at the back of your receipt and drop it in the drop box. KFC's finger licking good.
Bundle and watch $98.
All right, Dominica, we have a little stop there with Flo, and of course, right after Flo, we'll continue with the discussion. Let's do this and come back after this.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
All right, let's say good morning to our favorite lady at Flo. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to the listeners of Q95 Radio, to our Flow customers and customers in waiting. Good morning. It's been a while since I've been here. Please pardon the voice. You know, the flu seemed to be attacking me.
It's cracking up.
Yes, it's cracking up.
You're excused. Okay.
But happy to be here. I mean, a lot has been happening at Flow this summer, and I really didn't want them to miss the opportunity to share. Of course, we often say our promotions are as good as the number of customers who get to benefit from it. And we wanted to just take a few minutes to remind you of all the ways that that Flow is turning things up this summer. Of course, a lot of customers have been bundling, and that's the way to go. We continue to remind persons of the value and benefits of bundling. Of course, you heard from the ad, $98 could flow right back into your pocket. So when you bundle, of course, you automatically receive 35% off your mobile bill. That's when you bundle your internet and mobile. So of course, you get a huge discount there, and that's savings every single month as long as you're subscribed to the plan. But summer is here, and we promise we'll be turning up the vibes, and we are, with the amazing offers that we have at Flow Dominica. Matt, every single customer who bundles this summer, of course, get to choose their reward. And we have 3 amazing rewards. That's direct rewards. Once you add mobile to your internet, you can walk away with either a 32-inch TV at $200. You could also get a smartphone at $200. Or, of course, you could get a trip to Guadeloupe, Martinique, or St. Lucia. So you get to choose your prize. You can decide whichever way you want to go, and it's very simple. If you're an internet customer, you add mobile to your account. Of course, remember, you get a 35% off whatever mobile plan you choose. If you're a mobile customer, let's say you currently have postpaid services with Flow, it's very easy. You simply need to add internet. It's $115, starts from $115 a month. You bundle them up, and of course, you choose your reward. So, of course, you could be walking away with a 32-inch smart TV. That is a TV that is valued well over $1,500, and we're giving you a huge discount where you could walk away with that for only $200. You could also get a smartphone. Huge discounts there. You can walk away with a smartphone for only $200. Or you can decide, it's summertime. How about a trip? You can decide if you want to go to Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, or Martinique. Compliments Flow. So it's all about our bundling. We want to remind all our customers, all our broadband customers who are subscribed to our internet service. Of course, you simply need to visit a store, you add your postpaid today, and of course, you get to walk away with that. But that's not all. Our customers who are doing other transactions, signing up for broadband, paying their bills, still get to benefit this summer. Of course, our broadband customers get to choose their appliance, as well as customers signing up for postpaid. You can get tickets to your favorite events, and even our prepaid customers activating their plans, you get to win as well. Because you get to, of course, play our Rhythm Passports. You look out for the link that you get when you activate a plan, and of course that can unlock even greater rewards for you this summer. So whether you're signing up for broadband, you're bundling your service, it's mobile, you're activating your plans, there is a reward for you this summer. And of course, our lovely customers who are paying their bills, look out for our Rhythm Fridays, where we're just giving away. We had some really good time last week, Friday, and the Friday before, where we pretty much stopped at some really amazing hotspots in and around the city, and we were able to just keep rewarding our customers. So Flow is here doing it for you, giving you all the value that you need this summer, and whichever way that you're going, whichever service that you're signing up for, there is a reward for you. Matt, we can take a quick break, and then we'll come back to our grand prize. Our grand prizes, I should say, that we will be having from summer and all the way into independence.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details. Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $33 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to you.
We keep your rhythm flowing. Do not let anything stand between you and that phone feeling, between you and a trip to St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, or Martinique, between you and that 32-inch TV. You simply need to bundle up, of course, with Flow, and these rewards are yours. But of course, before we took a break, we also mentioned our grand prizes, and we actually have 4 amazing prizes up for grabs for our customers this summer who are paying their bills in full and on time. We appreciate all our customers. Of course, every week we find different ways to reward and keep our customers engaged. But of course, this summer we have amazing grand prizes that are up for grabs, starting with our first grand prize, which will be given away in July. That is, of course, mid-July, we'll be giving away the grand prize of a weekend, a VIP weekend to Soca on the Hill in Barbados. So one of our lucky customers who are paying their bills in full and on time will be winning a VIP experience. Now, what does that look like? Of course, it's going to be a weekend in Barbados. So that customer would need to, take some time off. So you're going to get a weekend. You're going to get full transportation, of course, to the airport, to your hotel, and to the event where a Flow Cabana awaits you. I mean, I'm jealous already of that customer because you get a full VIP experience. I mean, drinks, food, everything included at the event. Of course, in a fancy VIP cabana. Outside of that, everything is taken care of. We take you to the event, we take you to the airport, food, drinks, breakfast, every single thing. So if you're looking to get away this summer, you simply need to pay your Flow bill in full and on time because you could be that winner. Last week, I had a customer who said she's manifesting that she's going to be the winner of that trip. Okay, so just urging all our customers, remember, you simply need to pay your bills in full. You could pay anywhere, actually. So if you're paying at our Flow offices, that is our experience center in Roseau, or you could also pay at Deepex Caller Lab, Club DVD in Marigot, Cabrits agencies in Portsmouth. You could pay via any of these locations and you will automatically enter the draw. You could also pay online with FastPay or the banking systems or even SurePay. So regardless of where you're paying, as long as you pay your bills in full and on time, you automatically qualify, of course, to get into that draw. We also have certain days where you can double up your chances to get into the draw. So you could have a double entry, just increasing your chances there to walk away with a VIP trip weekend, of course, to Barbados. And this is just our first grand prize. We will also be giving away a grand prize every single month thereafter. So we have $1,000 shopping spree that is up for grabs. We have a staycation for 2, which will be up for grabs as well. So you cannot miss out on that. And of course, not forgetting our final prize, which is a brand new S26. The S26 is out, and of course, one lucky customer is going to walk away with that prize. So again, we promise that we'll be turning up the vibes this summer, and we're doing so on all fronts. So whether you're topping up, whether you're bundling today, whether you're upgrading your services, there is something in it for you. You simply need to be part of the Flow family. Sign up today with our agents. Of course, you can catch us in and around your communities. We've been up and about. You know, the team, I know they were in the north yesterday, and last week we were in the Cochrane, in the Valley area. So look out for our Stone Wheels, flag us down, and don't miss your opportunity to turn up the vibes and live your best life with Flow Dominica. Of course, you know, just to remind our customers, remember when you bundle, you get the choice between a TV, a smartphone, or a trip via Express Deal. And of course, with all our campaigns, it's going to continue until stocks last. Okay, so do not wait for the last minute. Ensure that you sign up today to our existing customers. Ensure that you can continue to pay your bills in full so that you do not miss out that opportunity. And Matt, in closing,
don't close, you know.
Don't close.
Just yet, because, you know, somebody's texting me a message. I just want to make sure that I ask that question on their behalf before you go. Can you please ask Flo why they cut us off from using our normal data from Dominica? Now that they're charging us for roaming. I pay my normal fees. I would pay my normal fees and use Dominica data here in Barbados, but now they cut me off. What is that?
No, so there were no changes actually made regarding roaming.
No.
No. So you can, you know, of course, you know, our customers you can give me the number. I can have our team reach out to that customer. But remember, when you activate a local plan, you're within the local zone, right? Normally, once you get out of the local zone, it's automatic. You get a message letting you know that you're in a different territory, and you may incur charges. So if you're going to be roaming, you need to ensure that you have a roaming plan that can be activated online or at our office, customer care. You have different options to do that. But we have not made any changes as it relates to our roaming setup. So this may be an individual case that
roaming within the region.
Yes.
Okay.
We haven't, or internationally, we haven't changed our roaming plans or anything in that result. Right. So, of course, you know, that customer can definitely reach out to us, and we're always here to assist. You know, I want to use the opportunity, Matt. I was closing, but just to remind persons of our contact numbers as well. You can reach us on WhatsApp 275-3569. Our customer care number 1-800-804-2994. To persons who may want to report any faults. So if there's any interruptions, you know, with your service, you can definitely call 611. Very simple, 611 from your Flow number. And remember, we also have other avenues that you can contact us. We have our website. You can message us on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also, of course, stay tuned to our WhatsApp channel. Okay, we've established our Flow Dominica WhatsApp channel. You can search for us right there on WhatsApp and, you know, ensure that you're in the know of everything Flow related. Matt, I hope you've joined our channel already so that you can ensure, you know, that you're in the loop of everything Flow related. If you haven't, we'll ensure that we send you that QR code so that you can be in the loop. But we were closing off, you know, for today, just taking a quick moment to remind you of all the offers that we have at Flow, to remind you of our grand prizes. And of course, you know, I also want to remind that FIFA, the World Cup, is on, and Flow will be bringing you every single one of the games, regardless of the type of service that you have, TV service. So all our TV customers can enjoy the World Cup. But guess what? We've added a bit of a bonus. So our customers who don't have TV and may only have broadband or postpaid, you can still view the games via our Blue app. You simply need to stream. You subscribe for the app. It's $31 a month. You subscribe to it. And of course, you can enjoy your World Cup directly from your phone. You simply need to download the app and enjoy Blue. It's BLUU. All right. So, you know, ensure that you're tuned in there. Quite a number of persons actually who do not have TV services, but they love their sports. You know, they've been subscribing. Once you subscribe, you can catch all the games directly from your handset. And we often speak of bundling, Matt. So we're also happy to advise that all our customers who've already bundled can enjoy the games on the app as well for free. Right? So we're giving that to our customers. So if you have broadband or if you're a postpaid only customer, you can view the games. You can subscribe. It's $31 a month for our Blue app. You simply download from the App Store, and all our customers who are already bundled can enjoy the content via the app for free. All right. So World Cup is on, and we're really happy to keep our customers, in on the action and everything else that is going on. So you cannot miss out on that. And there's so many other amazing things happening at Flow. I mean, very soon, Matt will be back here to give an update in regards to the interference issue that has been impacting customers in the north. The container is here. The equipment is on island. So the team is currently working on getting that off the port and, getting ready to execute and roll out to ensure that we can improve, services for our customers.
That's good news.
Yes, it's very good news. So we will be back, Matt, to give an update in that regards. But for now, we don't want our customers to miss out on all the amazing offers at Flow. So just taking a pit stop to remind you that, of course, there's so many ways to win and get rewarded at Flow this summer, bringing you the best prices and the best value on the island. So if you're tuned in, you haven't bundled as yet, you haven't switched to Flow as yet, regardless of what you're doing, there's a reward for you. Remember, you can't miss out. When you bundle, you can choose between a 32-inch TV, a smartphone at $200, or, of course, you could also enjoy a trip via Express Brazil to Guadeloupe, St. Lucia, or Martinique. Matt, thank you so much. I know the phone is going on, but till next time.
Go get some rest. You need some rest. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you again.
Bundle and watch $98 flow back into your pocket. It's simple. Just add mobile to broadband and save big with Flow. Get fiber fast Wi-Fi at home and all the data you need on the go. We've got you covered everywhere. So what are you waiting for? It's connection times 2 and up to $98 in savings for you. Add mobile to broadband today and take your connection to the next level. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details. Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $33 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Dominica, 449-3095. We will continue the discussion as it relates to the Dominica Grammar School. What happened there 1 year ago. You're looking for a full report. When asked about this, maybe a week ago, the Prime Minister said, well, the Education Minister should share. Let's listen to him.
There's a report, and I think there's a report, and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us, and even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it will still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So, so that has been done. That's been done in terms of the report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and there's an official report. Well, we had commissioned a report. We had commissioned a report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done. Yeah, we can make certain aspects of it. The Ministry of Education, we can speak to that at some point.
All right, Dominica, 449-3095, 449-3096, and 449-3097. There's been a few, of course, voice notes we want to share this time on the very subject.
Matt, good morning. This is Bernard Morrow again. All right, because I sent in you voice messages and you don't play them. All right, I hope you do. I hope you play this one. I smell a rat in all of that because the rubble, all right, should not be demolished until a proper investigation was done. All right, they had to carefully break that concrete and to see how far the steel was tied and to see the reinforced beam, if it was properly done according to plan. All right, the rubble was not supposed to be disappeared before. As a matter of fact, they were supposed to be cordoned off. All right, caution tape around, and people had to jackhammer the slab and to see how far apart the slab still was tied. All right, to ascertain that it was not a fault of the contractor, or it was a fault of the contractor. All right, that they quickly demolished that so that nothing can be seen. So I smell a rat in all of that. I smell a rat, yeah, in all of that, yeah. And if like you give a contractor a thing and then he a bad job like that, you're going to rehire him to do that? Fire his ass. Yeah, he's ought to be fired and let somebody else, and with proper supervision, yeah, and no shortcut. All right.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. Watch your language next time, okay? 449. I allow you to pass. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes, please. This is not radio language. Are you there, caller? Yes, please.
Yes, morning.
Morning to you, yes.
I listened to the what you just played there a while ago. As you said, watch your language. It wouldn't be so boring what we discuss and what we talk about. Yes, 1 year since the collapse of the roof there at the grammar school, the auditorium there. And it's so shameful that we have not had a report. I heard the Prime Minister in the question you asked, saying that the Minister of Education have the report and she should share it and so on. I mean, a report is not for you to keep in your briefcase, in your closet. It's for you to publish to the people. And also, it's a school, a public project. And when you do a report and you identify the ills of what transpired or what caused the collapse, it also helped to guide other projects, more so public infrastructural projects on the island. So people will take heed, and therefore what they're doing is not to, because I heard the caller mention a shortcut. I mean, we do not know if they were shortcut or if they had followed the proper procedure because of, in the absence of a report. And that's why a report is so important. And the government responsibility is to ensure the government govern well. It's not to come and kiss people on radio and to chastise people and try to belittle people and later on say you're different. It is for you to govern the country in a way that, I mean, is satisfactory to the vast majority of the country and so on. You will get criticism, yes, but criticism is to help you to improve. And when you talk about things that is being done and is not being done properly, the aim you expect that the government to address it and see how they can correct it and so on. But sometimes we go into a quarrel and years after years the problem remains. I mean, you imagine it's not a new government that just came to say it's a new government. You can say, okay, well, they're learning. It's an old government, a vehicle government, and therefore they should understand and they should learn long enough to know that they should govern properly in the interest of the people. And I mean, thank God that nobody was there, nobody got hurt and so on, but who knows? And therefore, if there's not a report, you are still frightened to expose your children or your child to that kind of environment. And this is why a report is necessary. And there is a saying, better late than never. I think, yeah, and I think the Prime Minister should get the Minister of Education. I haven't heard the Minister for a while. I mean, you used to get the Minister very often before. All of a sudden, she get moved. Remember the song, Moo talking? All of a sudden, you know, yeah?
I remember the Pampalam song too. Yes, I remember that one.
Right. And so on. So she talks about until she had Pampalam. I don't even remember if she said once, I mean, she was in some function, she was trying to pronounce a word. It was not coming, some new function. She said when the moon is somehow up or down, whatever the case may be, you have difficulty. I'm not hearing her now. What happened is that Quapo eat her mouth and so on. So Minister of Education, Octavia Alfred, unless if they shift and we don't know, because things are happening and we don't know it when you know late when it is pressured. So if she's removed, let us know. But if she's not removed, she better talk and say where is the report. And if you have a report hidden somewhere, take it out there and let it public. You have the Chronicle, you have the go on, put it there.
Well, isn't the case though that the Prime Minister is passing the buck? I mean, no. How do you expect, as somebody is saying, that the Minister of Education should give make a report or give a report on the construction failure? I don't know. I just
Well, on the other hand, Matt, and the minister was saying that the Prime Minister is everything. You go to a press conference. I remember when I was in government, and you go to a press conference of the government, you had the Prime Minister, Ms. Charles at the time, would speak, and then the ministers responsible for any subject would be addressing the subject to the media.
Well, I guess maybe it's a project for the school, so maybe that in that case, she may be excused. Huh? I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Well, let's see, but whoever have the report, let them publish the report. We need to know where the report is and in the interest of the country for the report to be published so that people can learn and they can take heed and example so that they do things properly and so on. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. Somebody's asking a question, making a statement. Let's see if I can get to this there. Let's see.
Hey, Matt, what minister?
What's that?
Hey, Matt, what Ministry of Education has to do with building the school? It's planning, the contractor, the constructor, whatever they're responsible, not the Minister of Education. This is something as well.
All right. 449-3095-96 and 97. These are the numbers to call. You can call 616-4257. There, of course. Somebody's saying same thing may happen at the Goodwill School. People's life may be in danger. We should ask planning to give an oversight. It's not too late. Planning is the institution responsible for construction throughout the country. Any other way is crookedness. Dominica is paying too much of a high price due to the leadership that refuse to respect foundational principles. Planning is supposed to be an arm of government to uphold zoning and construction codes of the country. Even government buildings must comply with those requirements. Let's go back to the telephone. Are you there, yes?
Yeah, Matt Telte.
Yes, sir.
Do you know, Matt, while we might talk about sovereignty, our independence, and our rights to do this and rights to do that, Matt, there are certain global protocols. You there with me, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Like the FAA, having to do with airports and flights, and, they come and they inspect, and then they can say, yo, we are going to put a ban on you, or that and that and that aircraft cannot land there and all of that. You check me, Matt?
Yeah. Yep.
So, Matt, I'm saying places like schools, hospitals, airports, and many major infrastructural programs. Let us say, Matt, you bring some foreign organization here and you choose to take them to the grammar school. We're talking about children. And Matt, at that point, the grammar school collapsed and killed how much big foreign dignitaries. So you see where sometimes it good to stick to some professional protocol, Matt Pelte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the man talking about, well, something was not submitted to them, and even if it was, that's what he does all the time. He play games. At a press conference, when you confronted him pertaining to do with electoral reform, and if the electoral commission are not on time with the thing and what he's going to do, he say, well, we might have to revert to the old list, but there might not be an old list to revert to. Matt, what is he saying? If I tell Matt, yes, Matt, I owe you, but that bought already, don't take away, I owe you, you know, Matt. If you get me, Matt, in a conversation, if I tell you, yes, Matt, I will be there, but you know that already neutralized, I will be there, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Because the bot can be my child is sick, the bot can be I don't have money for transportation. So when he said, when he always come with something to cancel or postpone, his first statement, and he does that so often, something as important as electoral reform, he said there might not be an old list to revert to when you ask the question if they don't meet the deadline. So he plays games all the time. And you know what is surprising? After all these years of abuse, Matt, the intellect of Dominica, the smart people, have not set up an organization to hold the government responsible, whether to the international or regional.
But I remember many years ago, Blessing, I don't remember there was a good and accountable committee. What has happened to this one?
Good and accountable. Matt, you don't know. Dominicans are like it's too short, too flam, Matt. A few people start up something, good intent, and all of a sudden, there might be some new players on the scene. And all of a sudden, they say, you know something, I don't think that is relevant now, because we have a new leader there. So we don't need a new. It's just like I say, a lot of people did not like Linton because he's an investigative journalist. And they would not want to see UWP there because when UWP there, nothing cannot happen without Linton, no. And that's what it is. So if now there is another leader, they'll say, you know something, quite accommodating, quite, convenient, or whatever the case may be. So where is that good and accountable government?
Well, I remember Mr. Tony Asifan being part of that good and accountable government. So things have changed.
So it's the same thing I telling you, Matt. You see who was, that come to my mind, You see who was on when the shoe was on the other foot?
Mm-hmm.
Who were members of the good and accountable government, Matt? Tony Asifan was one of them. And the others. Now, there is another administration. Good and accountable government, go to hell because it's time for us to have some fun as well. And Matt, that is what is happening. And when we finish, we're blaming the young people. Oh, they're criminal. Oh, they sit down smoking. They're lazy. You're giving all the jobs to foreigners. But when you finish, you want to use them to deflect attention from your criminal activities because they are the scapegoats now. So I'm just saying, Matt, there needs to be a revival, a resurrection, rejuvenation of that good and accountable government, and where we can hold the government. You cannot just come and talk your foolishness when people could have died. And the same company are allowed to continue with that project. And some people, Matt, the guy that called and making all this thing about, I wonder if he would send his children there after all was said and done. I wonder if he would feel comfortable sending his children to that school. Matt, it is sad. Look at me, Madam, they're carving. Have to waste time. They dial in, because the line busy. I know them other radio station. As you call one time, you get free, 295, you have to call at least 15 times before you get for one time, and Matt might not take the call. And then you try again, and anyway, thanks for your accommodation.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. It's 10:38 in the morning. Let's listen to this voice note there. Yes.
Hey, Matt. Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to
long time.
All the hardworking men and women of Dominica, Matt. Matt, you are having a very interesting discourse this morning, Matt. But Matt, we need to bear in mind that under this present regime led by Roosevelt Skerrit, we have seen the weirdest amount of things happen in the past, Matt. I mean, Matt, it's just bizarre, Matt. I mean, Matt, we all know how these guys have been violating all code, Matt. The housing code, Matt. When you tell me, Matt, I don't mean to stray away from your topic. You're building houses for people with only one door. The same door you use for entrance is the same door you use for exit, Matt. Matt, who does that, Matt? Huh? Matt, this is just laughable, you know. If anything goes in this country, Matt, and you have people just sit down there, Matt, just taking it in, and they themselves making an effort to get rid of these guys, to get rid of this brutal regime, Matt. Matt, the only way for this substandard thing to stop, Matt, is to get rid of Roosevelt Skerrit and his administration. This bunch of cannot do it, have no clue as to what is governing, Matt. That's why Dominica is 50 years back from, Matt, it's just hurtful how Dominica is, Matt. 26 years of waste under this Roosevelt Skerrit-led administration, Matt. And Matt, in closing, all I can say, for this to come to an end, these guys, they have to go. If Roosevelt Skerrit were to call election pretty soon, Matt, all effort, all hands should be on deck to remove this bunch of rapists in government. Take care now, man.
Careful of your language, my brother. I would apologize on your behalf, huh?
A little something from Uncle Keith up there in Brooklyn. A red polo shirt, a blue jean, a nice pair of shoes.
Have some coffee, have some juice this morning. Take a break for a couple of minutes, okay?
But what took my
While we enjoy Ras Kelly.
was a pair of
The
nice
shoe squeezing me.
Air Jordan, putting me in fashion. But to my disappointment, something wasn't looking right. Like Cinderella sister, the fit was a little tight. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. But what can I do? I really love the shoe, Lord, Lord, Lord. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. Got to bear the pain, I must wear my shoes again, Lord, Lord. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. Got to find a cobbler, put it on a stretcher, soften up the leather. Otherwise it blows, 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 blows on my nose. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. When food too big and shoe too small, a recipe to make even big man ball. Toes in a coma, you can't even smile. You'll be at the grinds just to be in style. If either you wicked or the damn stupid, if the shoe squeezing you, so many things you can do. Pass it on to a brother, someone it can fit, instead of taking that toucher and crying over it. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. But what can I do? I really love my shoe, Lord, Lord, Lord. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. Got to bear the pain, I must wear that shoes again, Lord, Lord, Lord. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. Got to find a cobbler, put it on a stretcher, soften up the leather. Otherwise it blows, 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 blows on my nose. The shoe squeezing me, the shoe squeezing me. 23 years, bundled up in Brooklyn, still thinking, Ras Kelly not growing. Everything in the box, a few sizes too small. A pair of green socks, just couldn't fit at all. The pair of blue jeans, I just couldn't use. The touch was too tight. Testicular abuse. But I sneakers. I will take my clothes. I will continue wearing, even though it's within my clothes. It should squeeze in me. It should squeeze in me. But what can I do? I really love the shoe, Lord. It should squeeze in me. It should squeeze in me. Got to bear the pain and must wear my shoes again. It should squeeze in me. It should squeeze in me. Got to find a cobbler. Put it on a stretcher. Soften up the leather. Otherwise it's blows on my clothes. It should squeeze in me. It should squeeze in me.
There's a report, and I think there's a report, and I don't have it with me, so I can speak to it specifically. But in respect to who is responsible for the reconstruction, developers will be responsible for the reconstruction because the project had not been handed over to us, and even if it was handed over to us and the period of liability had not elapsed, it will still have to be the responsibility of the contractor and so on. So that has been done. That's been done in terms of report, and of course, new designs have been formulated and so forth and so forth. But the other section of the grammar school continue to be done. There's some painting taking place, and
So there's an official report.
well, we had commissioned a report. We had commissioned a report, an independent report. So that was commissioned and done, and some recommendations I believe were made to that and so forth. So that was done.
So that will be later available.
Yeah, we can mix an aspect of it. The Ministry of Education, we can speak to that at some point.
We'll be wrapping up in a few minutes. Don't forget, we're speaking to the by-election in the Goodwill Rosenhoff constituency, the 1 o'clock hour. So stick around for this, huh? Candidates already announced, or one candidate already announced. We just heard Mr. Thompson Fontaine basically saying that one will be announced. Well, the Labour Party already announced their candidate. Are you waiting too long? Let's get back to the subject at hand. We'll talk about that at the 1 o'clock hour. This is Q95.
Oh my, this is amazing, my brother. This is amazing.
What's amazing?
Matt, you are now revealing that you are aware that the planning department said that they were at no time involved.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious, my brother? Are you serious? And if that is the case, fire and brimstone should have come down on the Prime Minister at that particular interview. Because as far as I know, again, according to law, in the Commonwealth of Dominica, planning is supposed to review every document, every bit of drawing, etc., as Black Pepper pointed out. Planning is supposed to review it all. And planning is supposed to approve or disapprove. Planning is supposed to supervise paperwork and so on and approve or disapprove before any project moves forward.
including your personal home. And if you build your personal home, you expand your personal home, you add to it without getting planning permission. Planning can even come when they find out and instruct you to break it down, my brother. You understand what I'm saying? So when you have a school, a public school, a government school being built by government, okay? Planning is supposed to review that, the designs and everything, and approve of them before the construction takes place. Just like in Debosh, planning is supposed to review everything, all the required documents that are required by law are supposed to come before planning. Planning is supposed to review everything and come to a decision based on many different factors. Should we have this sort of construction here? Is this land set aside for specific things that do not include this? Is this land too soft for this sort of activity? Is it going to cause landslide, etc., etc.? Is it going to dirty the river water and pollute it with pollutants that will cause health issues for the persons who use it? And planning has a responsibility by law to say yes or no. Planning has a responsibility to review all those documents. And the documents should be in the possession of planning, and when requested by a member of the public, by law, they should be made available. However, this government has persons within it who think that this is government, and when government decides to do this and to do that and to do the other, planning has no say. Planning has no right to interrupt, to intercede. Planning has no right to say yes or no, because this is government. And this statement was made by the permanent secretary in that ministry, as well as Mr. Samuel Johnson, who's part of the hierarchy in the construction of the international airport, who feels that once government wants something done, planning is an instrument of government who must just go ahead with government's plans. They must work along with government. They must not interject. They must not prevent anything from happening, despite the fact that the law says that they must. Are you serious? They're building a school for young children, for little children, and planning is not involved. No wonder the roof collapsed. No wonder the Prime Minister is saying, well, yeah, we have a report. We commissioned a report. You commissioned a report, but that does not mean that you actually have a report in your hand. Commissioning the report is words. The action that's supposed to follow. Did it follow, sir? And if it did, where is the report? The report is supposed to be available to the public. Ask Mr. Joshua Francis, the supposedly stupid lawyer, whether or not that is the law. Boy, we playing with fire.
Now, you just heard last week we heard Mr. Gregor Nassif saying that a lot of the major projects taking place in Dominica that planning was just not involved, right? And he's aware, he said that in this interview, he's aware that major capital project taking place in Dominica have not gotten the oversight of the planning division. So we have to be very, very careful. We just heard the Prime Minister said it. He now got the licenses for many projects. The Debosh was being explored without that license. Now available. It's a strange place. Dominica is what? Somebody saying, everybody just saying planning, planning, planning. Planning is compromise. You, the citizens, need to go on the streets and protest. Force people to resign. Who cannot hear should feel. I would say more, but somebody says it all comes back to the failure of us to understand why we have a constitution. We're not paying attention to the constitution. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. We don't have too much more time. 6 more minutes to go. Are you there, caller? Yes.
Yeah, just a minute, Matt. Matt, when you play it again, I pick it up. Pertaining to the project is not yet submitted to them. But even if it was, because he noticed the lane you're going up well is about accountability and transparency. So all of a sudden he talk about it has not been handed over to us. But even if it was, so you already blocked you there. Not to come with another question. And that's the dirty game he keep playing. And he want to live by the letter of his utterances. No law, not even the Constitution. Go to hell. So what in it planning format? Thank you.
All right, let's take another voice note there. We have just about 5 more minutes. Let's go.
You know, the more I listen to some of us on the radio, the more I know that some of us in denial, Matt. Matt, the reason I'm saying a lot of us are in denial, listening to some of my people. Matt, Roosevelt Skerrit is planning is Roosevelt Skerrit, and every man who he puts in office afraid of him. When he walk in a room, every man get flat. So there's no planning should do this, planning, because that's Roosevelt Skerrit. No, the education minister have the report and all that. That's Roosevelt Skerrit. The whole thing is one man, okay? And we cannot be talking about other countries in the region or outside of the region, what should be done and how they do this and that. And we have no way to compare nothing because we just non-existent. We off the draft board, man. The kind of ignorance I hear on the radio sometimes, this is why I conclude we are in denial. Knowing for the last 23 years, one man have every man scared. Then you have a man, he put in for this, a man for put in for that, but everybody is answering to him. You get no response and nothing, no study or nothing. Every project built is only him giving the access. You know, we got to understand what's taking place and stop. We bring our head out of the sand, man. Stop burying your head in the sand playing ostrich. Matt, I'm out.
I'm going to end up this morning with a short video, and then we'll come back at 1 o'clock to chat. But you may want to ponder on this video before we go, okay? Listen and listen carefully.
Look at those beautiful mansions outside. Don't you wish one of them belonged to you?
I wish all of them belonged to me.
Why do you always look happy when you have so little?
Because a big house is wonderful, but a peaceful heart is the real luxury. The richest pillow in the world is a clear conscience. Happiness and money had an argument one day. Money left, happiness stayed. A wallet can be empty while a soul remains fully furnished.
The
owner is probably worried about electricity bills.
And you?
I don't own enough things to stress me.
Tell me real wisdom.
A poor man counts money. A rich man counts investments. A wise man counts blessings.
And you?
I count bus stops.
What attracted you to me?
Your smile.
Really?
Of all the seats in this bus, you chose to sit beside a man whose wallet is on life support.
What have you learned from being poor?
Many things.
Like what?
Money buys comfort, but character buys respect. Money attracts attention, but wisdom keeps attention. Money opens doors, but kindness makes people invite you back.
You're wiser than many rich men.
Of course. Because poverty gave me free university lessons.
You really have an answer for everything.
Not everything.
What's one thing you can't answer?
Why a beautiful rich woman keeps following a poor man around.
You truly don't know?
No.
Because every time I talk to you, I leave richer than I arrived.
That's the funny thing about life.
What?
Some people have money, some have wisdom in their minds. The luckiest people find someone who gives them both laughter and peace.
Why do you always joke about being poor?
Because if I laugh at my problems first, they lose their audience. When you can laugh at your troubles lose their power.
Relationship.
Simple.
Tell me.
Two people looking in the same direction.
That's romantic.
Especially when they're looking at the restaurant bill.
What is the difference between money and love?
Money says, what can I buy? Love says, what can I give?
Money.
Money makes living easier. Love makes living worthwhile.
What have you learned from poverty?
That value and price are not the same thing.
Explain.
A diamond is expensive. Water is cheap. Yet when you're thirsty, nobody drinks diamonds. The most valuable things in life are usually not for sale.
And what have you learned from love?
That the heart is the only place where two people can become rich together without sharing a bank account.
What's the biggest mistake people make in love?
Looking for perfection. Nobody waters artificial flowers.
Meaning?
Real love grows because people accept each other's imperfections. Perfect people don't exist.
All right, Dominica, 449-3095. This is how we wrap it up for Perfect Love. Doesn't exist. All right, Dominica, we go. I just hope you learned something. We'll be back. I'll share it with you again sometime, okay? Let's talk on the block. Rosewood North by-election on the horizon.